That donut has been sitting in the break room all morning. You walked past it an hour ago. You ignored it. You told yourself you're not hungry. You don't need it. But somehow, you're still thinking about it. The glaze. The softness. The way it would just melt in your mouth. You've already mentally eaten it 3 times. And you don't even like donuts that much. You're not even hungry. So why can't you stop thinking about a piece of fried dough with sugar on top? Because sugar doesn't just taste good. It rewires your brain. It hijacks your biology. It speaks directly to the most ancient part of your nervous system. The part that doesn't care about diets. The part that only cares about one thing, survival. And in the world your brain evolved for, sugar wasn't a problem. It was a miracle. Your ancestors didn't have candy bars. They had honey. They had fruit. But only when they were lucky. Only when they found a beehive or a tree that wasn't empty. When they found sugar, they ate all of it. Every last bit. Because there was no guarantee they'd ever find it again. And your brain still thinks it's living in that world. But here's the problem. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a bite of wild honey and a spoonful of refined sugar. It doesn't know the difference between a mango and a can of soda. It just knows one thing. Sugar equals survival. Sugar equals energy. Sugar equals eat more. And that ancient survival instinct is now being weaponized against you. Let's start with the science. Dr. Serge Ahmed, a neuroscientist in France, ran a study that rattled the scientific community. He put rats in a cage. He gave them a lever that dispensed cocaine and another lever that dispensed sugar water. The rats could choose whichever they wanted, and they chose sugar, even when the sugar wasn't as strong as the cocaine, even when the cocaine was made more potent, even when the sugar was diluted. The rats kept pressing the sugar lever over and over, hundreds of times, thousands of times. They preferred sugar to cocaine. Think about what that means. The most addictive, dangerous, illegal substance in the world. And a glass of sugar water beat it. But here's the really scary part. Dr. Nicole Avena at Princeton has been studying sugar addiction for years. She found that sugar changes your brain in ways that are indistinguishable from drug addiction. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine. That's the signal that says, this is good. Do it again. But after you eat enough sugar, your brain gets tired of the signal. It needs more dopamine to get the same feeling. So you eat more, and more, and more. That's tolerance. And when you don't get sugar, your brain panics. It sends you physical cravings, headaches, fatigue, irritability, brain fog. You feel like something is missing. That's withdrawal. Tolerance and withdrawal are the 2 hallmarks of addiction. And sugar triggers both. Dr. Avena's research suggests that sugar activates the same neural pathways as morphine and heroin. The same pathways. Your brain can't tell the difference between a sugar fix and a drug fix. Now here's where it gets twisted. You didn't choose this addiction. You were born into it. Sugar is everywhere. And I don't mean candy and soda. I mean things that don't even taste sweet. Bread, pasta sauce, salad dressing, peanut butter, yogurt, canned soup. Even foods that scream healthy on the package are often packed with added sugar. The average person consumes 17 teaspoons of added sugar every day. That's 66 pounds a year. You don't even notice it. You don't even taste it half the time. But your brain notices. Every time. Dr. Robert Lustig, a pediatric endocrinologist, has been shouting this for years. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He says sugar is toxic, not because it makes you fat, but because it's a metabolic poison. Your liver processes alcohol and sugar the same way. And too much sugar causes the same damage as too much alcohol. And yet, you keep eating it. Because it's addictive. Because it's everywhere. Because the food industry spends billions to make sure you never stop. But let's step back for a second. Dr. Kelly Brownell, a psychologist, looked at the bigger picture. He called the modern food environment toxic. Not because the food is bad, but because you're being intentionally manipulated. Food companies engineer their products to hit your brain's reward system with precision. They know exactly how much sugar to add to keep you coming back. They know the bliss point, the exact amount of sweetness that gives you the maximum pleasure without being too sweet. They don't care if you're addicted. They care if you buy more. And you do. But here's the most uncomfortable part of all. Sugar addiction isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological. When you're stressed, you crave sugar. When you're tired, you crave sugar. When you're sad, anxious, overwhelmed, bored, lonely, sugar is there. A reliable friend. A quick hit of pleasure. Sound like any other addiction? The food industry knows this. They market sugar as a reward, a treat, a way to feel better, a way to celebrate, a way to cope. And you believe them because everyone around you believes them, because it's been normalized since you were a child, because when you got good grades, you got candy. When you were sad, you got ice cream. When you celebrated, there was cake. Sugar isn't just food. It's medicine. It's comfort. It's love. And that's why you can't stop. Think about the last time you tried to quit sugar. Maybe you cut out desserts, or stopped drinking soda, or tried to eat clean. And maybe you felt terrible, like you had a flu that wouldn't go away. You were irritable, exhausted, foggy. You snapped at people for no reason. You felt like something was missing. That's not weakness. That's withdrawal. Your brain was screaming for the drug it had come to depend on. And when you took it away, it threw a tantrum. But here's what they don't tell you. The cravings do end. Dr. Lustig says sugar addiction is reversible. Your brain can heal. The dopamine receptors can recover. The cravings fade. The withdrawal passes. It takes time. It's not easy, but it's possible. The hardest part isn't the withdrawal. It's the world you live in. Because sugar is everywhere. And the food industry is fighting to keep it there. They don't want you to stop. They want you to keep reaching, keep craving, keep buying. But you don't have to be their customer. So what do? You can't escape sugar completely. That would be impossible. But you can change how you see it. You can see it for what it really is. Not a treat. Not a reward. Not comfort. A drug. A drug that's been disguised as food. A drug that's been marketed to you since you were a child. A drug that you're not weak for wanting. You were built to want it. You were engineered to want it. Because your ancestors needed it to survive. They needed the quick energy. They needed the calories. And their brains rewarded them for finding it. But you don't live in that world anymore. And your brain hasn't caught up. Tomorrow, when you walk down the snack aisle, you'll know. You'll know that the craving you feel isn't your fault. It's a ghost. A leftover from a time when sugar meant survival. When every sweet bite was a gift from a universe that didn't promise you tomorrow. But that time is over. And you're still here. You're not a slave to sugar. You're just the one who finally understands it. And understanding? That's the first step to freedom.